What's up, guys? Welcome to day number 60. Yesterday, I did not do one. Didn't do much for the brand or anything, so I didn't feel like doing a check-in. However, if you watch like the daily TikTok check-in video, I made pretty good money at work, and I guess that's really all I did is like went to work, and so pretty good money at work, and I think a little bit of affiliate money. So anyway, yesterday was a decent day. Didn't do much for the brand to move the needle forward, and I went to bed pretty early. Joey wishes I was in bed right now. Look at her. Oh, she's so cute. Anyway, today is Monday. Like I say, is it Monday again? Jesus Christ, how many Mondays have I done? This might be the third Monday. I say this every Monday. Mondays are my days where I plan, check in on my goals, make sure that I'm doing everything that I should be doing, and make sure that I know where I'm at. I think last Monday I talked about my little to-do booklet that I do, that I try and follow. And I talked about how I did not make one for November, so I was out, and I made one mid-November. When I talked about it, I ordered another one, and it's here. It's right here. It's pretty thick. I think this thing was $12. So like I had to, make all the pages. It's thick paper. I didn't mean to get the thick paper, but it just has all the spots for me to do to-dos, and every Monday a spot to check in. I call it, what do I call it? Plan and something. Prioritize and plan. So every Monday I try to prioritize and plan everything that I have going on, because for me, I get bogged down with projects all the time. Like I decide, oh, this would be a good idea. And then I start working on it. Then I'm like, wait, like that leads to another thing. And then I'm like, wait, before I do that, I need to do this. And then I take a step back, or I shuffle over to the side. And then I'm like, okay, how about this? And anyway, I get so many projects going on. I'm shuffling a million different things, and it really stresses me out. So with the prioritize and plan thing, I'm like, I ask myself, what different projects do I have going on? Which one is the most important? Which one is bringing in the most income? How can I expand that, or how can I duplicate it? Which one has the most potential? That way I don't lose sight. Like when I did it today, I wrote down probably 4 or 5 different things that I was working on. And honestly, only 1 or 2 of those things have more income potential. Let's see, I'm working on a consumer report, lead magnet type thing. It's going to be a PDF. I'm working on redoing all of my reviews to be non-specific for the model year and a little bit more general, and making them more relaxed so that I can do them pretty easily with minimal editing. I'm working on growing my channel memberships by creating a webinar and a funnel there. I'm working on growing my Discord. I'm working on our online course that we kind of, I don't know, we go back and forth on whether or not we're working on it, and right now we're working on it, but I'm second guessing that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm working on growing my community. Okay. So the most important ones that I came up with were the relaxed reviews. I think that if I could pump out more reviews that are still valuable, but in a more relaxed way. I don't need to spend 8 hours editing these reviews. I don't need to spend all of that time. I think if I just put out good content, and I'm going to try and do it with a slideshow that has the information. I've created a little bit of preeminence in the way that I score these bikes, and like have a scoring system around it. So I think that should be the main focus, and like I can still provide information, but that's what's going to set me aside from anybody else, is the fact that I have this preeminence set up. If I was trying to do the same thing as everybody else with no like unique edge, then it kind of doesn't work out very good. So anyway, I think those are a big focus of mine. Those bring in affiliate income, those bring in ad revenue, and I need to start growing them on the second channel that I started off, because I don't want them on the main channel. And currently the ones on the main channel are probably getting more views because they were posted first, but they're model year specific. And so if these ones are more general, theoretically they'll last longer with less maintenance. Like I was talking in a video while I was walking, maybe I'll post it on YouTube or not. But I was talking about how I feel like when I do a certain brand's bikes, when I do a review for a certain brand, it's like by the time I finish a couple different brands, those brands are already on to the next year, because it's like it takes me so long to bang out that content. It's a lot of content, it's a lot of editing, it's a lot of filming, it's a lot of planning. And so if I can do it in a more relaxed way, it's like, okay, well, maybe those bikes have the next model year out by the time I'm like finishing up the first few brands, but that's okay, because I'm going to make them more general. For the most part, in my niche, there's not very many changes year to year except colors. And so I can get away with that if I do it in a smarter way. So that's what I decided was one of the most important things. Growing the channel membership is the second most important, and finishing that consumer report to me is the third most important. Just get that buttoned up, have my lead magnet going, get more people into my email funnel for that. And so anyway, those are the three things that I decided. So I cut it down from like 6 things down to 3, and I talk about which one's bringing the most income, how can I expand it, which one has the most potential. I decided the channel memberships have the most potential. If I can figure out a good way to get channel memberships and just bring them in and keep them, then think about having 1,000 channel members all paying $10 each. Like, that's a pretty good amount of money. You know, even 100 channel members paying $10 each is an extra $1,000 a month. Like, I'd be happy with that. 1,000 is an extra $10,000 a month. I'd be more than happy with that. So if you can do it in the right way, now I think it all comes down to like growing your top funnel, right? Like, how many views are you getting? How many people are interacting with your channel? Like, are they becoming fans? Are they willing to pay that money and become a channel member? Is your offer good enough? I've got to consider all those things, but right now that's one of the big things that I'm working on. So I'm constantly reevaluating and tweaking that. But yeah, so then I go back through and I go 86 or scale. So in the restaurants, it's like 86 an item because we're out of it, or we're not doing it. And so that's why, I don't know, when I started doing this a few years ago, that's what I did, 86 or scale. So I've got the different main projects, the different brands that I have. I've got the one YouTube, the second YouTube, the course YouTube, the YouTube that's kind of changed into this, then my website, another website, and the program. And so I'll go through and like, you know, should I scale it or should I cut back on it, and why? And I'll just write that down. Makes me really think quite a bit. But yeah, so that was kind of the gist of my check-in. I want to make sure that I'm getting out high quality content. On the second channel, a lot of the videos that have been going out are Q&A videos, and that's okay. I'm curious to see where they grow over the next few years. But currently, when they come out, you know, they're getting 400 or 500 views in the first couple days, and then they plateau. Now over time, they should start picking up more views as the algorithm picks them up or whenever people search it. So I'm not too stressed about that. Like, my whole motto is put out as much content as possible, and eventually somebody's going to find it. And like, even if your video doesn't get picked up by the algorithm, if it's something that's helpful for people, they might stumble on it after they watch something that did get picked up by the algorithm, and so on and so forth. So I just want to put out a bunch of videos and make sure that I'm getting out good content. You know, on that note, let me look at how much I posted 260 videos, and I guess a lot of those are going to be shorts, but not a lot. The first, I was well over 100 in the first year, I think, and they're not all shorts, but now a good chunk are shorts because I'm able to do a few a day. But I want to grow that and keep doing the Q&A videos because I think they're fine and I think they're going to pay off. But doing the review videos is what's really going to help me out and really get that going. So I want to get that dialed in, and that'll be kind of my main focus over the next week. What I wrote down for my goals is that I want to create a good keynote format, keynote slideshow, like that I can use to duplicate. So if I'm reviewing bike A this week, I can use that keynote, and then bike B, I can go to my spreadsheet with all the information and plug that information into the next keynote that I'm doing the following week, and just have it set up so it's animated, it looks good, it's edited, and I can either quick edit it by going in between full screen and not full screen, or I can record it through OBS in 1080 and try and just switch scenes on my own when I'm talking to the camera versus screen share. I'll play with it, but I think that that's going to save me so much time on editing, so much time and money. It's not going to be top quality, but I'm not doing iPhone reviews. Like, if you're jumping into a niche like iPhone reviews, product reviews, that's competitive because that's really good money there. It's popular and good commissions, but mine's not near that. Like, maybe I have one person doing blog posts and mentioning stuff on a YouTube, but it's not really competitive. So I think I can get away with this for now to build more of a base. And then as I work on that, or if there's more income coming in, I can pay people to help me scale it faster. Someone to edit, someone to script videos, do the data entry. There's a lot of data entry into my spreadsheet that I have built up, and it's just, there's a lot to it. And so anyway, that's the main plan. We'll see how that goes, if these lower effort videos still get the same amount of views or not, but I think they will, because if I look back to the videos I put out in 2019 when I first started putting on YouTube, they still get views. It might take a while, but they still get views because people are searching for that information. I mean, I came across a cooking video. I was like, how do I cook noodles in an Instapot? So I looked it up. Here's this lady, terrible video, completely terrible, but it got the job done. Like, it showed me how to cook the damn pasta in the Instapot. And I was like, this is great. You know, she was really awkward on camera. It was made in like Windows Movie Maker, but it got the job done. It has millions of views. So if you're competing with Marcus or Mr. Beast or somebody like that, maybe you need to step up the editing. But honestly, I think I'm going to be fine just pumping out content like that. And that's my current belief. Hopefully, we'll see. We will see. I don't know. But yeah, so I did the planning there, got everything sorted out. I'm really working on cutting expenses, man. I got to figure out, I think I'm going to cut down to one video a week. The thumbnails, though, are worth the expense. The blog post writing, I want to keep that going, but I need to figure out a way to make it. I'm going to incorporate my live streams. So that's one thing that I figured out. Every week I do a live stream, and I have different topics that I talk about. I'm trying to make it more of a show versus just like me talking for an hour. And so I want to have different segments and different sections, which requires more planning on my end, which I'm going to start scheduling. I need to start scheduling or it's not going to happen. So, so in the live streams, I'll have it set up to where I do this, I do this, I do this. I've got thumbnails made for each section so that those will come out as their own videos. And then within that, I'll do a top review. I don't know like what part I'm reviewing for the week and what, how big the list is, but that's one thing. Those get good views, and for blog posts, they're really competitive and they're really good. But like, those are some of the best top funnel sources for your website, and I need to put those out more. Last week I had my blog post writer. I just gave him somebody else's. I was like, hey, could we create something like this pretty easily? Gave it to him. I said, use these products, not his products, use these products, and just create something similar. And what he came back with wasn't very good, but that's fine, because I went through the theme on my WordPress site and found a few boxes that I think will look good. And I tweaked it a little bit. I said, hey, made a video. Here's how I want you to do this. And he did it this week. Pretty good. I need to do better on my end. I need to make better scripts. I need to make sure that the whole flow is set up good. And so next Friday, I'm going to try that, filming that kind of video in my live stream, so he has something to reference and something to work from to create an authentic blog post. Does that make sense? Like, it's really hard for him to create an authentic blog post that sounds like me writing it if I haven't even like talked about it or anything like that. So Friday, I added that onto my live stream structure. I can pull it up and show you maybe. Yeah, so right here on my live streams, I just go through, I tell a story at the beginning. And this is something I have pulled up while I'm live streaming, so if I get lost, I can reference it. But then I go through, teach a new trick, a beginner trick that gets cut out as its own how-to video for members only. But I teach it on the live stream, so the people who are live for the live stream get to see it, but then you only get to rewatch it or see it again if you're a member. So I do that. Then I highlight some clips from my community, so I have that community engagement. And then right here, I just added this little section. This is pretty much the gist of the blog post. A little bit about the part, some pros, some cons, and final thoughts on it. That's it. I keep it really simple, talk about it. This is the 7th best handlebar. Here's why. Here's some good things about it. Here's some bad things about it. Boom. Move on. And so I drug this out to go all the way to 13, but what I normally do is the night before the live stream or 30 minutes before, depending on how I'm feeling, I fill in these things. So we're working on this trick. We're going to talk about this, this, and this. We're going to react to this clip, this clip, this clip. And so then I'll fill these in. This is going to take quite a bit of time for me, probably 20, 30 minutes, just looking through the parts, listing them out, adding pros, cons, and then talking about it. But it's going to save my blog post writer hours. It's going to save me hours, and it's going to get me a good amount of content because I'll be able to clip that and turn it into its own video for the second channel. I'll be able to turn that into a blog post, and I just think it's really worth it. I'll see how much time it takes me. Maybe I'll stick to like top 5 lists. If I get crazy and go all the way to 13, obviously it's going to take more time. But I'm thinking that just having this structure to follow, I'll plug that in there, and then I go and do some Q&As at the end before I wrap up. So adding this in there, I'll add some more time to the live stream, but I think it'll help me create more content. In Traffic Secrets, Russell Brunson's book, he talks about how he structures his once a week filming days to be something very similar. He has different sections. Each section gets split differently than mine. Like mine's pretty much one video, and then there's a few sections that go to YouTube. He's like, this section is just for blog posts. This section is just for Facebook. This section is just for Instagram. This section is just for LinkedIn. And I think that's a little bit silly, but distribution is key. Like if you can distribute as much content as possible, I think you're going to win in the long run. I don't see how you can lose. Car did not get shipped up here today like it was supposed to. It's still stranded out there. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I need to get it here hopefully tomorrow, but we'll see what's going on. Motorcycle, got the motorcycle to start, walked to AutoZone, got a battery, came back, still didn't start, walked to Walmart, got a charger, put it on the charger, still didn't start. Realized it just clicks when I pull the clutch and try to start it. I've got to start it in neutral without the clutch pulled in. Then it worked. So I probably didn't need a new battery, but oh well. It's frustrating. Anyway, did that, got it started, drove it around. It's leaking gas from the fuel pump, so there's a new fuel pump on the way. Hopefully that's the last thing I need. Just get on the fuel pump, go down to the DMV, take the little test, get a permit, and have something to drive to work and back while I fix the BMW. Let's see. Yeah, I had to walk to Walmart today to get the things that I talked about. I grabbed a few groceries, put it in my backpack, and walked back. Luckily, it's like maybe a mile. It's not very far. And I was able to message back and forth with my thumbnail guy the whole time I was doing that. So it didn't feel like a waste. Like he's redesigning some banners for the channel and doing some other things because I didn't have 5 thumbnails for him to edit. And he had a lot of questions. And honestly, this last week, man, has been so stressful. My girlfriend and I have been broke up for a while. I moved here and moved in with her here. We moved in together. We signed this lease. And so it's just been like, I don't know. It's been really hard because I try to focus on this. This is what I spend most of my time on. And then we have differences, and I spend too much time on this. I'm not available. And I mean, there's different things too. I think it's a 50-50 thing, but I know my part. I'm short-tempered. I'm stressed the fuck out because of everything I'm trying to do. I'm running on like working the job part-time, making enough money to pay the bills, putting all the money from this back in, from YouTube and stuff back into the brand, back into the YouTube. And I'm like, look, dude, if I'm not working, like I'm stressed out. I can't go to dinner. Like, I don't know. I feel kind of like a dick thinking about it. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like this is what I need to do right now. This is my season for doing this. I can do all of that stuff, dates and dinners and trips and stuff when I'm 30, when I'm 40. Like, I don't know. Right now, I've got to build up this business that I'm trying to build. I've been working on it long enough. I just need to do it. So that definitely puts a lot of strain on everything. And we've been broken up for a while, just living separately in this apartment. And then she moved out a couple days ago. And so like kind of been helping her with that and figuring that stuff out. So it's been draining and been super draining. Just fuck. It's a lot. So it keeps me from, like, I haven't been replying to the thumbnail guy or the blog post guy. So I'm like really behind on that stuff. So it was fortunate. having to walk to Walmart that I was able to do that while I was walking. So I got caught up on that, got caught up on everything today. Today's good, and it's 3:05 a.m. I need to get to bed. But anyway, so that's what's been going on with my life there. Got that stuff going on, got the car trying to figure out, got the motorcycle trying to figure out. Got to go to work tomorrow. The last thing we'll do, maybe I'll keep doing this, maybe not, I'm not sure, but I'm going to pull up my screen here and I'll just try and figure out what I'm going to do for my day. So I used to do this. If we go way back to I don't know, I was probably doing it a lot in February or whatever. I don't know. There's been months like right here for this week. I did really good filling everything in, and way up here it's like 20, like here. I was so good about it. I'd fill stuff in every night before I went to bed, and I would follow through. Like, man, I was on it. Like, look at this. How many months did I go straight? So I was doing pretty good here for this amount of time. Yeah, I did good. And then I had a couple weeks there where I didn't do so good. But like every day I'd have this structure and I'd follow this freaking structure. I'd follow it to a T. And it was crazy, but I got so much done. And you'll see I have different things in here. Like this is like chores. This is personal growth and stuff. This is my real job. I was doing marketing for Texas Roadhouse. Like I was on my shit. And then I had some time. I don't know where I was. Oh, trip. I came out to California for Nick to film the course. My coach was on vacation. Did a program for work. Another trip. I think I went to Denver. No, I didn't. Daniel, he's sweating. I went to Montana then. I was up in Montana. Anyway, I was like just putting everything in. Okay, I need to edit these, or I need to get these YouTube videos sent over. I need to clip the live stream. So I'm going to get back on that. And like this week, man, I killed it. I was working out. I was doing good. I went back to the gym today. So that's good. And we're just, we're back on it. Okay. So we're doing this again. And I'm going to do it every day with you guys here on the check-in. So tomorrow's Tuesday. I need to text. This is my old boss from Roadhouse. It was her birthday yesterday and I didn't text her. I'm a terrible person. I've been waking up around 8. I don't eat breakfast anymore. I'm started eating just one meal a day, which is actually not bad. I thought it was a lot worse. The first few days I'd get really hungry about 1 or 2 o'clock. Today I made it all the way until 5 o'clock before I felt like I needed to eat. And then I did. I ate and I was good. I think it's we'll see how I feel over time doing it. Like I'll test it out for a week, but I think if I just eat one good meal, I should feel better. I don't want to be bogged down by food and all of that. I don't know. We'll see. I met one guy at work and he's like, I only eat one meal a day. And I'm like, tell me about that. So he told me about it and I'm like, I'm going to try that. And I'm thinking about quitting energy drinks and switching to tea. Thinking about it, haven't done it yet. But you guys are motivating me to just keep up the grind and keep going. So anyway, we're going to try and wake up at 8. We're going to take Joey out. I've got my little booklet of to-do stuff here. I need to message Max for the pants. So I'm going to do messages and calls for that last 30 minutes until 9. I always break my stuff into 30 or 45 minutes. If I give myself too big of a chunk, I have a really hard time staying to it, if that makes any sense. I think around 9 I can check. So there's a shop nearby that might have a fuel filter for the motorcycle. If it does, then I'd get it from them and just cancel my Amazon order. If not, then I'll just let my Amazon order come. But it's annoying because it's like it could be here Wednesday, it could be here next week, and so hopefully it's Wednesday. Anyway, because I'm real annoyed about that. I want to get that stuff done. So if it does have the fuel filter, we will get fuel filter. which will require a long walk or a long bike ride. I'm not sure how I want it, like what the plan is with that, but that potentially is something that will be done, but I'm going to add something else in just in case. I like to have things color coordinated too, because it makes me make sure that I'm like balancing myself out. If everything is just side hustle, then I'm not getting enough done around the house. If everything is green, then I'm just being too woo-woo and too lazy, so I need to make sure that I'm doing everything. So if I go get the fuel filter, cool. If not, I'll just hit the gym, give myself some 30 minutes in between there. I'm not going to do it super tight, because then sometimes I realize that I did this already. Sometimes I realize that if I cram everything in too tight and I miss like a time deadline or I go over, then it just screws the whole flow. So this buffer time in between is kind of like catch up time. Maybe I'm going to spend too much time on messaging and calls. Maybe I'm going to get caught up doing something else. And so having that extra time has really helped me. And like you saw way back when I was doing it a lot, I learned that because before I'd cram everything in like 5-minute intervals, and I was like, okay, this doesn't work for me very good. So got the messages, I just need to spend some time deep working. I work at 5:30, I think, which is good. I like a 5:30 shift. Real job. We do that until it's a 5:30 shift, so I'm going to be there until like 10:15. My ex is going to be moving her stuff around, but I'm not going to plan, like I'll help if she needs it, if she's here. But otherwise, I'm going to plan on making those keynote, what would you call that? Not templates. So for probably an hour and a half here, what is that? It's about an hour. About an hour here. Hour and a half. Perfect. I'll be working on those keynote templates that I talked about so that I can do more of a low effort review and can plug in those. Like I want to make one for the top parts too that I'll do during the live stream. And then I'll pull it up. I'll have to make it the night before, pull it up on here. Boom. I have a good video, have a good structure. Keynote for top parts, for review. Call about fuel filter, message Max about the affiliate stuff. What else? Okay, also very important one. I'm going to take Joey out one more time here. That's not the important one I was talking about, but and 30 minutes for this, like pretty gracious. It doesn't take us that long, but I just need to have that time built in. Especially, she's been really sad with everything that's going on around here. I need to... I met someone today. She works at a restaurant around here. She manages a restaurant around here. Pretty much said I could have a job if I want. And I want to leave Olive Garden. And I would like to, like, this place seems pretty good. So maybe I will check in on that. She gave me her number so I can, she got my number, I guess, for that. So maybe we'll just check in about, check in about that real quick before I go in and just cut expenses and cancel subscriptions. This is what I was working on when I started to make the sales video for the channel membership, because I was going to cut my expenses for ConvertKit, and then I was like, hey, wait a minute, I need to add some stuff in here, and then I got distracted on that. So I'm just going to, this time I need to cut through like everything that I can think of, and I need to make a list. But anyway, cut through a lot. That's going to be a really important one, because as you guys know, with like the car, with her moving out, I'm covering more of expenses, and I need to figure out, like, I'm going to cut down on a lot. And so that's a really important thing to be working on to do. Probably around here I'll eat. It's so crazy, like the one meal yesterday. But it was a big meal, And maybe I'll figure out like I can snack on veggies, or I don't know. We'll play with it, but okay, well, right there. Damn, I know there's like a few more things that I can juggle. I don't think I'll have the Keynote templates done there, but I don't know if I want to like keep going with them. I can clip some of I need to edit the video, but will I be able to do that for like an hour? 3:30 to 4:30, and then start getting ready for work? It's just, no, I need more time to edit, so like that really doesn't work. Mess with the motor. I mean, I guess if they have the fuel filter, I have that time blocked off, I'll be able to change the fuel filter in that time. So that's fine. The newsletter, that's what I'll do. I didn't get that done today. And that's okay, because I'm not going to be super hard about it. But I do want to stay consistent on it. Okay, and then work. I already worked out, so I don't need to work out when I get home. And then I'll just block in some time here. I like to read, and I like to hang out with Joey. And I'm trying to finish up Superfans. I was really going every morning. I'd sit down and read while I was cooking my breakfast, but then stuff got hectic, and now I don't eat the breakfast, and it's just easier to work on other things. To request money, I need to pay some bills, so I'm going to add that in here. All right, got a lot to do right there. I'll try and read there for like half an hour, and then whatever, MISC. So the MISC to do section, I usually just keep open for like the things that I have on my to-do list here that I don't get done. And these will send off little reminders throughout the day on my watch to make sure that I stay on track. And this is great for me. Now, this isn't right for everybody. Like, being psycho and scheduling stuff like that isn't right for everybody. It's helpful for me. Because otherwise I get distracted or I get caught up on other things. And it's like, it's as simple as, honestly, I won't get the Keynote templates completely done. I might get one of them done, but not both of them in this hour and a half time block. If I didn't have this hour and a half time block, though, if I didn't hold myself to that, it would probably run to about 3 before I get sick of it and move on to something else. And maybe I'd get them both done. But then I didn't do the expenses thing. I didn't check in on the serving job I didn't need. I didn't do the newsletter. Like, all of those things get pushed back. And it's so simple. Watch. Look, we'll just work on it tomorrow when I'm off work at 5, right? So I can just add that there and make sure that a little bit of progress is getting done, instead of just having it like run all the way through my whole day, because that's what would happen before, and that's what happens if I don't schedule it. Some people are able to break tasks down. I'm not. I get too hyper focused. I have a really hard time. So this has been the most helpful thing for me. My life's felt in order when I did this, and I got stuff done. So, oh wait, you couldn't even see the screen share. What I did is I drug this guy over. I was like, look, okay, now I have another hour block to do it tomorrow. And then I was like, I'd rather have that than just have my day eaten up by that one task. So anyway, that's kind of a struggle that I have, but I'm learning how to do better with it. And on that note, that was day 60. It's 3:20 in the morning. I'm going to get in bed, edit that TikTok, and go to sleep. 2 months worth. 2 months worth of checking in and grinding. We'll see you guys later.